Hi everybody. So it's been about a year now since we first set up our tank. How do you think it's gone?
It's been a lot of hard work. We did some mistakes, and we learned a lot doing those mistakes.
I think we went too fast sometimes on some things.
It's easy to do. You get excited about new fish or new coral, and you want to put it in the tank right away, or you're thinking about the health or safety of whatever creature you bought, and you neglect the fact that that glove that you had on is not supposed to go in the other tank, or
like I just did. Again, after all of this crap, I just did it again the other day.
Yeah.
Good thing it's not really going to impact anything yet because there's no fish in that tank, but it does reset the fallow timer. I hope you guys enjoy this video. We're just going to do a quick recap of where we're at now. The tank is starting to come back together, and the fish are almost all the fish are done with their tank transfers, and there's some corals and a new clam acclimating in the tank. But we're definitely going to be moving a lot slower this year, and I hope that somebody out there maybe learns a little bit from what we've done, and I hope any of this is entertaining or helpful, and let's give it a whirl. I can't wait to hear your voiceovers for the crab. Alright, this is the new tank setup. We've got everything back in with no copper. There does seem to be an awful lot of Texas holy rock. Not a lot of Pucani made it through all of this. We do have a toadstool on hold at the local fish store that we're going to put right in the middle on the flat rock once we get it here, and we think it's going to look pretty cool.
It also comes with a, what do you call it, a Leptocerus?
Leptocerus, yeah, there's a Leptocerus on the side of it. It's going to, I think, be like the mother tree from Avatar. That's kind of my goal.
Awesome.
It's my goal, is to make it look like a giant tree in the middle. It's going to look great.
We bought some egg crate at our local Lowe's store, and we found it in the light section where they have the floating ceilings and the acoustic tiles. We used a pair of guitar string cutters to cut it into shape that we needed for the sump and the skimmer.
The egg crate is pretty versatile. We were able to use it to build up the skimmer to the proper height, which we had trouble doing previously. And by offsetting the egg crate layers, we managed to create a little pod hotel where hopefully copepods and amphipods can hide out in the sump. By offsetting zip ties in opposite corners, we were able to keep it misaligned and in the appropriate place.
When we first cleaned out the sump after the copper treatment, we had a bubble trap that was in here, and we needed to remove it to clean out the sump, and it was really, really bad. So we decided to throw it away and use egg crate as a bubble trap, and it seems to do pretty well.
Maybe it'll work as an algae scrubber, who knows? Oh yeah, look at who survived the bucket for about 5 months. When we were taking out the rock, he actually jumped off the rock onto the floor and survived somehow through all of this. We got him when we first started setting up the tank. He was in one of the first purchases that we made, and I was really bummed out because I thought he was dead, but lo and behold, he has survived, so he is going back in the display tank. Oh yeah, we got this little guy in the display tank. He is a tiger conch and part of the cleanup crew since there won't be any fish in here for a while.
Tiger conch, huh? That looks like the tail's on backwards.
This is the third coral beauty angel that we tried to keep. The first one came from the local fish store, and he had just arrived when I picked him up and brought him home, so he probably just had a rough go of it. The second one came from Reef Aquarium. He seemed fine and died a couple days later for no apparent reason. This one I really hesitated to buy, but he had beautiful, beautiful colorings. I've never seen one this fiery orange, and so I decided to take a chance, even though we could see that he had ick. We put him through tank transfer. He lasted for almost 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden came down sick and died, and I have no idea what it was. He had been eating well, he had been swimming around and enjoying himself and seemed perfectly fine. We checked him every time we moved him to a different transfer, and Yeah, he didn't make it. This is the anemone that lived on the hermit crab's shell. We had that anemone crab that the thin stripe killed. He actually took this anemone from his old shell and put it on this shell right before he died. It was really kind of cool to watch, but yeah, it seems to be doing really well without the crab. It's doubled in size since then, which is kind of neat. It's fun to watch. If you watch closely in this video, you can see him actually catch food and stuff it in his mouth, which is funny. I've never seen him do it before up close. You know, with all the drama in the 90-gallon tank, it's easy to forget that the nano tank is actually doing really well. You know, we've recently put a crocea clam in here. Still working on getting the lighting the way that it likes it, but we've built it a little clam oasis, and it seems to be doing okay so far. It's opening up, it looks healthy. You can see right here on the hammer coral, these particular tentacles right here did not get a lot of light. When we first put that in the tank, we laid it on its side so that what was previously facing up, parts of it were now really far below the rest of it, and they weren't really getting any light. They were very shaded by the rest of it. And now we've stood it back up so that hopefully they can recover and get those nice and strong again so that we can take a little piece and frag it for the display tank. And here we have the grand experiment. This is Poe and Penelope. Poe is the black storm clownfish that we bought a few months ago. He has been in the 55-gallon tank. And Penelope is the clownfish, the Ocellaris, that we bought last year when we first set up the nano tank. And we're hoping that the two of them might become a bonded pair. And this video was taken literally 20 minutes after Penelope was introduced into the tank. She's the orange one. And they are BFFs already. They even move the way that my bonded pair move. They are already kind of in sync, and Poe trails Penelope all over the tank. There doesn't seem to be any discrepancy about who is the bigger one and who is in charge. So I'm hoping that this bodes well. Fingers crossed. It would be really cool if these two became a breeding pair, and we'll keep an eye out for that. Speaking of bonded pairs, the snowflakes recently had a bit of a lover's quarrel. We were doing some transfer and we had moved them out of the nano tank and into an orange Home Depot bucket that we had bought that was brand new, and for some reason the female snowflake clownfish just seemed like she couldn't recognize the male, and she beat the crap out of him all night long. When I woke up in the morning after they had been in the bucket, he was way up at the top and his fins were shredded and he was exhausted, so I had to scoop him out and I had to put a divider in a 10-gallon tank and let him recuperate for a little while. And when we reintroduced them together, the female immediately started displaying some spawning type behaviors, which I've seen them do on the rockwork occasionally, but I've never actually seen them lay eggs. I don't know why. They seem to be at the age where they could be spawning, and the female seems to know what to do. I've seen them cleaning at the rock. I've even seen him kind of swishing around like he thinks he knows what he's doing, but I have never actually seen any eggs. So I don't know if they're ever going to have any baby clownfish. Now look at this lunatic. This was when he was in the other side of the 10-gallon. His primary goal in life just seems to be escape from wherever he is. Always. I think he needs a better name. We need to give him something. Some name. I need you guys to help me. Help me think of a name for this crazy lunatic. This next part might be my favorite thing. I love this. This crab is so mean. So mean. I think he might try to kill us in our sleep.
He looks like he wants to.
He's mean. He's mean. Watch.
I climb over here in my little dirt pile. What are you looking at? I'll kill you. I don't care. I'll eat you. Hey! I know you put me in here. You know you did it. See me walking sideways? I'm keeping an eye on you. I will find a way out. Watch me. Hey, what's this? Hey, give me that food. Give me the food. I'll just climb underneath it. It's all mine. You can just hide it underneath this plastic thing. I'll
Push it out of the way. Watch how strong I am.
The food moved.
Damn it. It's the sand. I can't get good. Just come over here and hide underneath this lump of grass.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A talking crab. Who knew? I challenge you to help me find a perfect name for this miserable SOB. Like, it has to be really good and well known. You know, we like to name them after movie characters or well-known book characters, artists, musicians, you know, just something that people would recognize. What do you got? What do you got? Post it in the comments, please. Well, now you're all caught up. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, look at that, he's got like a penis mouth.
No!
Oh gosh, look at that long hose sucking up things. It looks like you know.
Like what? What are you thinking?
It's a really weird species snail.
It's not a snail.
It's not a snail?
No.
It's this dick shell.
This is why I can't let you help with the videos.